Because what happens when you use the little flap design is things tend to spill out when you start to do some pretty serious and or silly stuff. And really the half flap is really good for like, I don't know, portrait mode on your phone. Outside of that though, like realistic uses, the zippered pocket is gonna be way more useful outside of Instagram. Sorry, I had to spit out a raisin there. Hey, what up, Wizard, and welcome back. Today I got a bit of a different one for you, even though I'm pretty sure I say that every single time, but I'm gonna be prepping for some classes with defense mechanisms in their Anatomy of Structures CQB courses. And I'm fairly certain the DM team is gonna hurt me if I don't actually get out to some of these classes. No, YouTube reviewer, that's just a joke, but I am definitely going to attend so I can avoid those beatings. Now, I did share this over on Discord, but there is an open invite to this class if any of you wanna come out and train with me also. I'll throw some dates and classes I'm attending up here if you're interested in coming along and learning some new skills in the initial May class and then the follow-up course in July. I'll hopefully be able to bring out a bunch of cool setups from like Agency Arms and from Griffin Armament, along with probably a bunch of all new gear too, that you guys can try out and run around with also. I just think that doing a fun class with viewers that support us would be pretty badass. And for me, kind of the idea of attending all these classes is that so I can understand more different use cases for different types of gear, so then I can better review gear and then translate that better to all of you also. So in that vein, today we'll be putting together our defense mechanisms placard in our Anatomy of Structures CQB class configuration and going over how to set it all up. The setup we're showing is actually recommended from Jesse from Defense Mechanisms also, and he said it's a good base for anyone actually attending the class, so I figured I'd share it with you and give you a generic basic setup that you can build off of. And if you like this setup or you want to customize it further or do something completely different, make sure to use discount code TLDCO over at defensemechanisms.com. Like if you need one of these badass mech belts also. And I've shown you this before, but what's wild with the DM placard is that it offers a ton of customization too. So you could use it for classes or swap out different bits for different roles in an entirely different mission set. Or you could flip the whole placard from a chest rig and then upscale it into a full big boy plate carrier if you wanted to do that. This may come as a surprise, but I'm totally gonna do a chest rig in that class so I could give my back a break for once. Hey, at least that's one good use case for chest rigs. Now, before we get into this placard and set it all up, let's take a moment and thank our badass new sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Nocturne Industries. Nocturne has become one of the pioneers in cutting-edge night vision gear. From the lightweight katana to the next generational quads and the Chimera, Nocturne has you covered for all your nighttime shenanigans. With a core of reliability and innovation, their housings are also proudly American-made and designed in the heart of New Hampshire. I know we all want to have night vision, and interestingly, Nocturne also wants us all to have night vision, so now you can actually use discount code TLDCO to save a ton of money over on night vision gear. And Nocturne also has like a huge dealer network, so if you're looking for intensifier tubes or other just obscure night vision accessories, just give them a call and they'll work with you and see what they can do to help you out. All right though, let's get to the placard before the DM guys yell at me and give me those beatings. Now, first we start with our buildable placard base to give us a clean slate to get started with. This has our loop backing to connect our other bits, while also having our QD buckles already built in. And when I first reviewed this back in the day, they had different placard heights, and I would always order the wrong ones, I would always get it wrong. So thankfully they did an update and they got rid of that. Part of me really thinks they got rid of it though, because I kept confusing everyone. Every video had it a little bit different. I don't think it was ever right. So there's just one size now. You don't have to worry about picking the wrong thing in the upgraded 2.0 version. You could also order these in the G-hook configuration if you want a lower profile than the Quasm clips give you. And seeing a whole lot of gear, I've really come to kind of prefer G-hooks, but it really comes down to just personal preference and the plate carrier that you're using and how it all lines up. Now for our next bit, we add in our admin pocket. This is a full-size zipper pocket that allows you to place in notebooks, markers, or batteries. To add it in, we just line up the edges and attach this guy right in. Well, look at us, Jesse. We are the first step into being CQB wizards. But seriously, I gotta know something. I know the rest of you do. 1 second. While I was jamming that bread in there, I'm realizing there's all these cool pockets in here. This thing's awesome. We're good though. The bread, the sandwich, it all fits in there. You gotta jam it a little bit. All right, let's keep going. Next, we'll add in the zippered half pocket on my strong side, and you'll see why in a minute. The zippered pocket gives us additional storage for items like a Leatherman, lens wipes for optics, handcuffs, and handcuff keys. Wait. I get to play with handcuffs? The DM guys are way cooler than the TLD guys. Jason and Joe would never, ever let me play with these. And I will say this for you pros out there. Yes, using the handcuff key is cheating. If I can do it, you wizards can learn it too. And what I like about this little zippered pouch is that I can put some of these like smaller items in here, and then you don't have them just like swimming around everywhere like they are in the big pouch. See, look at those little batteries in there. Yeah, it's gonna be a pain to find later. And I kind of prefer this, and it's interesting, Jesse told me to do this over the half flap because he's probably used it too. Because what happens when you use the little flap design is things tend to spill out when you start to do some pretty serious and or silly stuff. And really the half flap is really good for like, I don't know, portrait mode on your phone. Outside of that though, like realistic uses, the zippered pocket is gonna be way more useful outside of Instagram. Sorry, I had to spit out a raisin there. All right, let's keep going before we get yelled at. Next, we add in our rifle pouches to our placard. I placed a rifle pouch in the center due to it being larger and making the pistol mag easier to access from my weak side. The pistol mag could also double as a multi-tool pouch if you have all of your pistol mags on your belt already. And kind of why I mentioned the belt before, the way the placard is kind of designed is to be a refill for the belt. So like as I spend rifle mags, we then refill the belt with the actual placard, and kind of the same thing goes for the pistol mag. We would just refill our belt with that one also. And yes, you could just refill your rifle just directly from the placard. Yes, just don't overthink it. Here though, we finish it up and close up our placard and lock it all in place with the placard wrap. Just start on one side and work your way around. I recommend doing this with mags and stuff in the pouches so you don't get it all smashed down so much you can't even use it. And I say that because there was a bit of a learning lesson the first time I did this because I smashed everything down and then nothing fit in the actual pouches. Now the last placard bit we're gonna add in is our side ride flashlight pouch. This allows for easy access to visible light to ID both friendly and enemy targets. And this little guy's awesome because it's ambidextrous. You just move this little middle piece and you can either put it on the right side or the left side of your kit. And one of the interesting things I'm learning kind of from night vision classes, just how much white light you need in night vision and CQB operations. Now though, which light can we put in here to make the internet the most mad? Oh, I got an idea. 1 second. We'll add in this sweet O light so all you angsty teens from Reddit can get all sweaty in the comments and repeat things about it blowing up from 6 years ago. Yes, it was 6 years ago. And Reddit, all of you are still saying it. It's obnoxious. And it's a flashlight. Again, don't overthink this. A 7-year-old has figured this out. If it makes light, it's fine. And I know we get told from marketing companies everywhere, but thankfully PSA is kind of leading the charge on people not getting ripped off anymore. You just don't need a $400 flashlight. If you need me to say that to you, I'll say it again. You don't need a $400 flashlight. There you go. Just get a regular flashlight. To finish this whole setup out now though, we can connect this into our light chest rig and straps and have our whole setup put together. Real quick though, let's add in some cool guy patches just to make the internet angry, and here we go. Perfect. And having it all together, I like this setup. I think it looks pretty cool, but I'm way more excited to kind of learn the why, like understand from Jesse and Tim, like the reasonings behind why this configuration works so well in different use cases within the class. And I'm hoping that some of you are gonna come out and learn all those tips and what this is all about with me also. I think it's neat as we move into different courses too, as we can swap out any of these pouches for a different configuration, or we can take this whole setup and just attach it into our plate carrier as we scale up for an entirely different mission set altogether. So make sure to pick up one of these defense mechanisms placard systems if you haven't already. It just offers you an absolute ton of customization and versatility. But I hope this overview of my anatomies of structure like basic class configuration was useful in your purchasing decisions, and I hope to see some of you all soon. I want to say thanks to all of our Patreon supporters and all of our YouTube members for making it possible we can see all this cool stuff and for getting to goof around in my yard and mess with all the different sandwiches and whatnot. I also want to say thanks to everyone that likes, comments, and subscribes. Comment down below what you think about the defense mechanism placard and how you actually set it up. I want to hear about it. All right, everyone, Walsh out. I made it all the way through the end. I didn't even mess up one time. I did it perfectly. So Jesse, how do you feel about this? I'm actually coming to class, gonna be a CQB warrior. Why don't you do that cool, like blurred out thing like you do for all your French girls? That's me now. Look at me. Look at me. I'm Instagram star. I'm very curious how many of you are confused as to why Walsh has so many handcuffs. Handcuff party, putting them in for a handcuff party. All right, it's enough, go away.